Hello, welcome back to our channel Jalul Wonderland. 1. Popeye Village, Malta. In a stimulating twist, one among the foremost beautiful villages round the world may be a vamped-up 80s movie set. Abandoned shortly after the filming of the 1980 musical Popeye, which featured the late comedian Robin Williams, Popeye Village is now home to quaint, colorful clusters of wooden buildings, a corporation of actors and an array of fun activities to try to watch shows, continue boat rides, explore the village, visit museums or go gathering while the youngsters romp at the playhouses. 2. Hallstatt, Austria. Nestled between Hallstatter See and therefore the Dachstein Mountains is Hallstatt, Austria's oldest and maybe its most photographed village. This stunning European town features beautiful old churches, a subterranean salt lake, a museum with 7,000-year-old artifacts and a glass-like lake set against the breathtaking backdrop of soaring mountains. 3. Simeon La Rotonde, France. Located within the stunning south of France and surrounded by olive groves and lavender fields, this hilltop village is one among the foremost beautiful towns within the world. Explore the charming village, pass along narrow cobblestone streets and stone houses, admire the centuries-old architecture, attend talks on aromatherapy, tour the medieval castle and luxuriate in the scents and colors from the various flowers within the nearby Abbey of Valsaintis garden. 4. Cinque Terre, Italy. Cinque Terre means five lands in English and is that the collective name given to 5 different fishing villages that every boast stunning coastal and mountain trails also as beautiful, classic architecture. Cinque Terre offers timeless appeal and a feel of authentic Italy with its rugged coastlines and romantic town area. 5. Ortahisar, Turkey. Despite its central location, Ortahisar has managed to stay largely traditional and mostly slow-paced. Whilst surrounding towns increasingly become more and more touristic, Ortahisar remains rustic and charming. Have a drink and a meal in an underground cave bar, marvel at Ortahisar's looming 78-meter-high castle carved from stone and learn more about the underground cave storage where citrus fruits are stashed until they ripen. 6. Oia, Greece. Oia may be a traditional village with beautiful blue-domed churches, sun-bathed verandas, variety of art galleries, and maze of small shops, most with panoramic views of the Port Amudi and of the Santorini volcano. Oia is without a doubt one among the foremost beautiful towns within the world. 7. Shirakawa-go, Japan. Situated at the foot of Mount Haku-san is that the quiet mountain village of Shirakawa-go. Shirakawa-go is picturesque with its rolling rice fields and river, and it also boasts traditional thatch farmhouses, a number of which are quite 250 years old, and therefore among the last of its kind in Japan. Engage with locals, learn the normal art of dyeing and weaving and find out how to form delicious soba noodles while you're there. 8. 8 Ben Haddou, Morocco. 8 Ben Haddou may be a traditional southern Morocco earthen village made up of clay bricks. The village lies during a valley near the Atlas Mountains, 32 miles from the bustling film capital of Morocco. Historically, traders traversed the Sahara trade route and skilled the town carrying spices and gold on their way elsewhere. Because the use of this established trade route faded, many kasbahs fortresses in 8 Ben Haddou were abandoned and have since become preserved relics. 9. Cua Van, Vietnam. Charming and enchanting, Ha Long Bay is legendary for its natural beauty. Cua Van is simply one among the fishing villages along Ha Long Bay but is believed to be its hottest spot. Situated on an emerald green bay surrounded by mountains is that the serene Cua Van, home to beautiful and exotic marine life, caves and grottos perfect for exploring, and a vibrant village culture. 10. Alberobello, Italy. Alberobello may be a quiet Italian town most famous for its whimsical 14th-century-style beehive-shaped houses. These stone buildings are made up of local limestone and topped with conical roofs, often white-tipped as if dusted by snow and decorated with painted symbols believed in touch religious or superstitious significance. There also are a couple of small museums and opportunities for purchasing and trying local foods. Alberobello may be a great little village for each day trip. 11. Juscar, Spain. Nestled within the hills of Andalusia is Juscar, a quiet town in Spain previously referred to as a Pueblo Blanco for its whitewashed walls. In 2011, Sony struck an agreement with the village's leaders to possess the town painted blue and dubbed the Smurf Village as a part of promotion for its then upcoming Smurfs movie. Since then Juscar's walls have all remained bright and cheery Smurf blue an equivalent time as, while, when, as, greater than whilst village life there remains largely the same, and Juscar remains a sedate quaint little village. 12. Rain, Norway. With an estimated population of 300 villagers, Rain is one among those small towns that nobody knows about. Perfectly situated at the mouth of Rhinefjord, near the insanely beautiful Loften Peaks is that the quiet picturesque fishing village Rain. Attend Rain to enjoy the famed, stunning aurora borealis and stay and luxuriate in life within the laid-back rural fishing village. Stay during Aurorabu, a converted, old fisherman's cottage, go whale watching and fishing because the locals do or camp under the celebs, go biking, kayaking or bird watching and truly connect with nature. 13. Sidi Bou Said, Tunisia. The idyllic, thriving metropolis town of Sidi Bou Said is found atop a steep cliff overlooking the Mediterranean. 20 kilometers approximately from the capital city Tunis, Sidi Bou Said may be a favored getaway destination for locals and tourists alike. Stroll along cobblestone streets lined with small shops and stalls, explore winding lanes, soak within the stunning bird's-eye view of the Mediterranean, visit the Enejma Azara Palace which pays homage to neo-Moorish architecture, and luxuriate in the brilliant contrast of the town's blue-painted doors and trellises with the stark white of their Grecian buildings. 14. Ping'an Village, China. Ping'an Village rests atop the height of Longsheng County's famous Longji Rice Terraces, 1,200 meters above sea level. Ping'an may be a small community of rice farmers where old traditions and native culture are apparent and thriving. Scenic narrow mountain roads resulting in the height offer a splendid view of the amazingly vast rice fields whose different terrace levels are nicknamed by locals consistent with their varying shapes. 15. Wengen, Switzerland. Wengen was once primarily an alpine farming community but has since become a resort town teeming with tourists wanting to ski the snow-covered slopes within the winter and hike trails within the summer. Despite the influx of tourists, the mountain village has retained its home style, postcard vibe with its timber houses, well-dispersed holiday chalets, soaring mountains and luxurious landscape. 16. Burano, Italy. Burano, the small island of Lace, is ranked together of the foremost colorful cities within the world. With colors that pop, Burano brings an almost tropical vibe to the northern Venetian lagoon. This small island and its single city features emerald green water channels, charming houses, a 17th-century tower and therefore the lace-making expertise that brought Leonardo to the island within the 1400s. 17. Bibury, England. Easily one among the foremost beautiful small towns in Europe, is Bibury, a touch town in Gloucestershire Cotswolds. Bibury consists of stone buildings all strung out along the banks of the River Colne, and is most famous for Arlington Row, a picturesque row of weavers' cottages believed so far back to the 14th or 16th century before its conversion within the 17th century. Arlington Row overlooks a meadow and river and is featured within the UK passport. Colmar, France. La Mia Fotographia, Shutterstock.com. 18. Colmar, France. Nestled among vineyards, Colmar may be a beautiful microcosm of Alsatian life. Colmar boasts traditional houses, canals, famous wines, superb time-of-life architecture and stunning lights. In Colmar, 1,100 computer-driven fiber optic lights of various colors and intensities illuminate the town in the dark on Fridays, Saturdays and each evening during major events and important local festivals. 19. Fenghuang, ancient town, China. Situated at the foot of a mountain and along the banks of Tojiang River is Fenghuang, an old town built 1704 which offers a glance at China before modernization. Named for the phoenix-shaped shadow the looming mountain casts on the town, this old town is hailed together of the simplest and most picturesque altogether of China.
20. Pelangon, Iran. Pelangon may be a little-known rural Iranian village with an estimated population exceeding 1,000 inhabitants. Tucked away within the valley with the Tangivar River flowing through it, houses are etched out on the sloping valley sides during a terraced manner with roofs of homes doubling as verandas or yards for the homes above them.
Locals embrace their cultural heritage through folk dance and song, and commonly enjoy country life by picnicking on the river's banks, taking shade under nearby trees and playing simple games together. 21. Gassadalur Village, Faroe Islands. Lush, rolling green fields, a dramatically steep cliffside, a bird's-eye view of the neighboring island of Mykines, also because the famed rushing Mulafossar waterfall characterize the pastoral village of Gassadalur, located in western Vagar within the Faroe Islands. Up until 2003 the scenic pastoral village was virtually unknown and unreachable. In 2002 the village population was but 20, but with the creation of tunnel road for cars and vehicles in 2004 Gassadalur village has seen a rise in population and in tourist visits. 22. Larung Gar, Tibet. At the eastern end of the vast Tibetan plateau is that the landmark monastery town Larung Gar, the most important Tibetan Buddhist institute within the world. This cultural, historical and non-secular site's inhabitants and buildings currently face threat of forced migration and demolition, and unless the international community acts quickly this beautiful Tibetan village will soon be no more. 23. Hobbiton, New Zealand. Hobbiton, New Zealand is that the movie set town featured within The Lord of the Rings and therefore The Hobbit. Though the initial plan was to construct temporary sets to be knocked down once filming wrapped, a permanent set was eventually established and remains today. Tour the unbelievably charming set town, grassy green fields, hobbit holes and everyone. 24. Kasa Giangit, Greenland. Kasa Giangit, Greenland are some things of a forgotten paradise and another one among those small towns that nobody knows about. Beautifully situated within the Disco Bay, surrounded by high and steep mountains rising to about 450 meters, Kasa Giangit is known as spotted seals for the marine life within the bay. The open land and high mountains around Kasa Giangit are a challenging hike but offer a worthwhile view of the bay. 25. Staithes, England. Spectacularly set along the North Yorkshire coastline is that the pretty fishing village of Staithes. Colorful little cottages line the natural harbour and bigger houses with multiple levels and ranging colours stretch across the stunning clay cliffs overlooking the ocean. Staithes' winding streets, natural harbour and impressive cliffs make the town a gorgeous place to go to. Reconnect with nature, immerse yourself in centuries of history and learn intriguing local customs in any of the foremost beautiful towns within the world, all while taking in authentic rustic, romantic village vibes firsthand. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.